Welcome into the Bettor Half Hour. I'm your host, Alex Monaco. You know how I do it. I'm on the mezzanine of the sports betting double-decker bus, looking for trends, looking for angles, trying to put some shekels in your pocket. We have a phenomenal NBA slate coming up this weekend. Cruise on over with me as I Steph Curry shimmy on over to the monitor. We're kicking it off with the Hawks and the Heat, and the Heat have been phenomenal at home, protecting home court and covering both spreads. How about Ice Trae Young? He's gone cold chronologically. Austin Powers frozen over here, has not hit any of his props. That includes threes as well. As you know, we were on. Now, this Heat team comes into Atlanta with a ton of momentum. They have covered 8 of their last 9 games against the spread, but we know Atlanta at home is a different beast. They were much better, 27-14 at home as opposed to 16-25 on the road. They are actually the 4th best cover at home against the spread as well in the NBA. And as you see, Miami, a humble 1.5-point favorite here. Now, the Hawks, 9-0 in their last 9 at home, first teams with winning records. So they're beating teams at home, but they're beating quality teams as well. The Heat on the road, though, will be a tough test for Atlanta because the Heat are 10-2-1 against the spread in their last 13 road games. So we know low number for them could go both ways. I'm going to make a pick on it later in the show as we keep it moving. How about the shock of all Game 2s, not named the Pelicans? This Chicago Bulls team and DeMar DeRozan putting up a 41-piece, going into Milwaukee, the defending champs, home, and taking and stealing Game 2. We have ourselves a series, and on DraftKings, the series price has dropped immensely, a large drop. Now, the Bulls covered both numbers against the spread this series to kick it off. You saw it at 9.5 in Game 1 and 10 in Game 2. LaVine, 20 points plus, bounce back nicely. He continues his streak of never having back-to-back games under 20 points this season. Vucevic with another double-double, so we know they've been incredible. Giannis has been phenomenal as well. He's 33, 18, and 9 in Game 2, but with Middleton out, my God, Malcolm in the Middleton, they're going to have to rely on those role players. Bobby Portis went out with that eye, so they're going to need him against his ex in Game 3. The line is virtually shocking right now. We've seen some movement as well due to Chris Middleton going to be out. 3.5 it opened. Now Milwaukee just -1.5, which is a staggering line movement when you think about Game 1 and Game 2 as far as against the spread goes. Now, the road team has covered in each of the Bulls' last 7 games, so that's good news for Milwaukee. And the Bucks, got to mention it, because a little recency here. They've won Game 3 in each of their last 4 playoff series, win tied 1-1. So think about that, as well as that the Bucks are 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 as a road favorite. And last but not least, the Bulls, 2nd best cover in the NBA at home. You know, they were the 5th worst on the road, so huge discrepancy in this one as we see how the line movement moves before Game 3. And then we go on to the West. Let's talk about the Suns and the Pelicans. Some serious series line movement as well as line movement in Game 3 due to Devin Booker. Fist bumped that baby, went viral on Twitter, and then hurt his hammy. He is out for Game 3 and likely Game 4. He had 31 and I believe 7 triples in Game 2. And then what happened as soon as he went out in that third quarter? The Pels pounced, outscored him 34-22. Brandon Ingram with a team and game high 37. CJ with 23. How about the Suns losing 4 of their last 5 games without Devin Booker? Something to figure out. This is a 1-1 against the spread series as well as the series record. And the Suns just 1-6 in their last 7 games as a favorite, and they're 0-4 in their last 4 as a road favorite. Now, Pelicans, not so good against the spread after a win, just 1-5 covering coming in to the playoffs, and they're 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 as a road underdog. But for some reason, they play phenomenal on Fridays. They've covered 11 of the last 13 against the spread on Friday. So if you do like the Suns, now's the time to probably fire on them to win the series, because if they steal Game 3, which I can't believe I'm saying, you're not going to get them at the number you can right now on DraftKings. And last but not least, we have the Sixers and the Raptors. Joel Embiid called game, went over to Drake, dapped him up and said, break out the Harry Potter brooms. We're coming for the sweep. The 76ers rallied from 17 down down to come back, force OT, and win. They are a phenomenal road team. Second best record in the NBA on the road, 28-14, 2 wins for every one. And the Raptors at home this season, just 21-21 against the spread. Now, the Raptors on 2 to 3 days off, a pretty good cover, 9-4 covering. Sixers just 5-8 against the spread. So some big difference there. As we know, Harden, he's had a double-double in several games except for one in his last. And Joel Embiid is just feasting, as we know, said one of the biggest shots of his career as he hit that three and covered the 2-point spread because Vegas is sick. And last, we got to mention, because how do we not, the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics. Oh, my goodness. Another number 17. Boston. Down 17, comes back, shuts down KD, went scoreless in the second half as far as field goals go, and him and Kyrie just 1 of 17 in the second half from the field. Jalen had 22, 10 in the fourth. This is a team that is incredible defensively. We know top defense since the break. 3 days off between games. Celtics 9-6-2 against the spread on 2 to 3 days off. The Nets just 6-9-1 against the spread. Now, we know that the Nets had a worse record at home than they did on the road, just 21-21. Celtics, second best road cover in the league, 25-15-1. Believe it or not, the Brooklyn Nets are favored. Do what you will with that, though. We got a backs against the wall must win for Brooklyn, or it's going to be a quick one for Boston. We're just getting started on the Bettor Half Hour. Sean Little coming up next. Don't go anywhere.